champion, and then you were having a bad season. And what did it develop any kind of did you have any kind of problems with the press and with people? I mean, did they treat you pretty fairly in those situations?
I think so. A couple of times, you know, you had little problems with different press guys, but I think that was the biggest thing in my racing career. It was hard. The hardest part of my racing career was the PR part, you know, the press and everything. When I first came into it with the rookie thing, everybody was eager to talk to you, and then the championship deal. Well, then when we started having bad luck, I wasn't too eager to talk to them. You know, what do you to say about blowing up 18 times or falling out of a race or crashing or ever what? You know, you don't want to talk about them things.
Sure.
I think I just got not, you know, less responsive to the press, and the press sometimes say, well, Earnhardt, you know, you don't want to talk, you know, he's hard to get along with, or what. It's a lot easier to talk when you're winning races or when you're doing good, you know.
Yeah.
And when the guys that can accept the failures and come back with the press and work with the press, and I think I did that pretty well to be a rookie on the scene with the thing, and I still got a pretty good rapport with the press is the ones that's going to make the great race drivers like the Pettys, the Allison, the guys that can take the defeat and come back and smile and take, we'll do it again next week, and then we'll get them next week. And that's what I did all year in 1981. 1982 started out with Bud Moore, and we blew up some engines and things with him, and it was pretty bad on us then, you know, pretty tough on us. But you just got to come back, and, you know, that's what makes a good race driver. That's what, you know, that's my career. That's what I'm going to do. I want to protect it, and I want to do the best in it. And you got to come back every time, positive, every time, and do what you want to do.
The Red Sox are looking for their 5th straight victory. Hello, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper with Mike Krukow as we get set for baseball here with EA Sports. Should be a great ball game. Here's the starter, Noah Lowry. This game features the Boston Red Sox and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays.
Now to the plate, shortstop.
So, you know, I got a shot at winning a race. I'm going to, you know, do my best. You know, I'd race all the time if I felt like I could win a race or if I had a good shot at doing it.
Are you running any short track races other nowadays as opposed instead of Grand National cars?
I ran a few asphalt late model sports races this year, and I've got a dirt car there. So
the game starts off with a strike.
Terrific pitch there, partner. You put the fastball right where you want it for a called strike.
We just go run the car.
Lowry throws strike 2 call.
Feel relaxed.
He's thrown 126 innings this season, and batters have done well against him with an average of 297.
He didn't go through the zone with that swing.
Grudge against you because you're paid more money than they are to even win the race. We just
got him with the changeup on the inside corner.
Hey, Kai, he was able to get ahead in the count. The batter never caught up. Good strikeout.
Tell me about your daughter, Kelly.
Mahomes steps in at the plate.
I know they're big parts of your life.
And here's the delivery.
I will tell you, they're the biggest part of my life.
He painted the black with that
one. My wife, Teresa. They made a big difference in my life when
hit towards the shortstop.
They came and started living with me. You know, at my
got him.
When I got
Lowell makes his way to the plate.
It just really changed.
It did. You want what?
I reckon it matured me. You know, I stopped just worrying about what I was doing, where I was going, and started worrying about it. I started realizing, you know, I've got to.
A liner.
It's hard to really explain it.
1, 2, 3, and the inning is over.
What you like to do.
Here's the manager's lineup.
Reason, they're great. They
on the mound to make the start for the visiting team, Matt Clement.
My wife.
And here's a look at the defense alignment.
They all get along good. It's just, you know, ideal situation.
Can you see Dale Jr.'s been in trouble?
Oh, he loves cars. You know, he's crazy about cars right now.
Next up, Harlan Crawford.
Fill it out and do what he wants. My dad never did promote racing to me.
Misses for a ball.
He sort of played it down. And he never did say, you know, we'll build a race car or when you want to.
Well, the fielder is trying to run it
Anything,
down.
I went out and talked to David about driving.
He's on his way to second.
Let me drive it. And once I got started,
He's in there with a stand-up double.
He sweet stroked that pitch in the outfield for a two-base hit.
This guy here is dangerous in the batter's box.
With the car, help us set the car up, things like that. Once he came
And
out
a
with
strike on the inside corner.
He's got 5 wins and 12 losses so far this year.
if he wants to race,
Nobody out.
He'll show the interest. and do
Like
it.
a good
I'm not
pitch,
gonna
but
push
call
him
the ball.
And then try to make him interested. And I think that's what would make a difference in a good race and a bad race out there.
On the
The
ground.
driver wants to get out there and drive well
One
his
out.
head and crashes every lap, and you talk to him a little, make a good driver out of him. But when you have to push and get
This
out
guy
there
has a
and
great
drive,
approach to hitting, and that makes him
you
just a
have to do
pretty
it yourself.
special hitter.
That's what he does. I'll be behind him no matter what he wants to do.
Fastball caught the inside corner.
He's thrown 117 innings this season, and hitters are having a field day against this guy at a clip of 348.
Good thing to have. Financially, you're doing well.
The pitch.
Did you ever think that racing
A
would be
three-pitch
this
strikeout.
when you started?
3 pitches, 3 strikes. Doesn't get easier than that, partner.
This right-handed hitter usually performs well when there are right-handers on the
I turned
mound.
my money over. I was in debt probably a good bit.
Clement deals
All I
a
could turn my
strike.
money
The
over,
count
I
is
didn't have to worry
0-1.
about it.
His location was perfect for that slider, broke right in the corner.
When I first got into it, I didn't even think about the money we were winning. Even when we won the championship, we won like $588,000 that year. You know, it never did dawn on me what I was doing. And now,
Pitchers ahead, 1 and 2.
my kids and my family going now like I have, I start thinking about the future. Now I'm starting about
And he got him to end the inning.
That's right.
With
Do
1
the
inning
right thing.
played, no score
You
here.
do look for dollars now, man. Negotiate and deal with the car owner and the sponsor or what.
This
You've got
batter
to
enjoys
capitalize on
moderate
the record and
success
realize
against
that
left-handed
you've got to
pitching.
capitalize on what you've got now.
Lowry
For the
misses
future.
with a fastball.
This left-hander has 1 dominant out pitch.
Great National Racing is
Pitch
at a
inside.
state now where a man can go on till late 40s, early 50s.
It's always been that way.
Caught
A good
him
driver,
looking.
if he keeps his health up and keeps his mind in the right place, and they can go
Hit towards the
45, 50
shortstop.
years old probably. If he's healthy.
There's an out.
I want to drive a race car as long as I want to do it when I get to it. When I start not wanting to go to the race
Misses
car,
outside.
That was a purpose pitch. A changeup off the plate, hoping the batter would go chasing.
Lowry delivers a fastball out of the zone.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you try to make the hitter chase your pitch. That's exactly what you saw right
Race day,
there.
there's nothing else on my
Count
mind.
is
I'm just
3-0.
pumped up doing that race.
He's got 8 wins and 6 losses so
All
far.
through the week practicing, I really can't get anything. I go out and practice.
And he takes the walk.
Kite, the pitcher had chances to end that at bat, but the batter just flat out out-batted.
That's just like burning up time.
Next at the plate, Jason Worth.
The only good time is
Well, the manager can rely on this guy to give you a consistent at-bat game after game.
Keep an eye on this guy right here. He could turn out to be a big factor in this ball game.
And that's strike 2.
He averages about 4 walks per 9 innings. Not terrible, but not great.
Hit towards second base. Safe on the play at first.
Looks to me like he may have aimed that throw. He needs to just throw it.
Junior Johnson was raised in that house, honed his skills as a driver, first hauling moonshine liquor on the roads around here. Then he went on to become one of the most successful and intriguing personalities in the history of the sport. Join me today as we hear Junior Johnson tell his own story on the great drivers.
NASCAR Busch Grand National races on Saturday afternoon are always exciting and usually very competitive, and that was the case in the Goodrich 200 here at the Rock. Now, normally the NASCAR Winston Cup drivers dominate those races on tracks that are 1 mile or longer. Well, it was a refreshing sight to see the Busch Grand National regulars do very well in the Goodwrench 200, and Bill Weber, one of those, was on the pole.
Out of the zone.
Ned, among the stories that unfolded here prior to the Goodwrench 200, Kenny Wallace debuted his new Dirt Devil car. He's teaming with car owner Felix Sabates here in 1992. And on the pole for this race, 1991 Busch Grand National Rookie of the Year, Jeff Gordon. Jeff still looking for that elusive first victory. Could come here today.
I sure hope so. Things are really going good for us this weekend, and you know, the pole was just one step, but we got another step to conquer, and that's winning this sucker. But I tell you, as well as it's going, I think we can do it.
Gordon took the green flag and led the first 21 laps of a 197-lap Demolition Derby. The 36-car field included Winston Cup regulars Dale Earnhardt, who took the lead on lap 22, and Bill Elliott, who took it back to the garage on lap 62. Mark Martin lost his clutch on lap 3, but still took his Ford to the front on lap 55, battling with Jeff Burton, Joe Bessie, and Earnhardt for the lead. Earnhardt recaptured the lead on lap 79. Martin and Davey Allison remained a threat, while Kenny Wallace and the Burton brothers were running strong laps and racing well within reach of the lead. Then Jeff Berry spun on the backstretch. The 5th caution flag flew on lap 99. 37 of the next 69 laps were run under yellow. The caution flew a record 13 times for 66 laps for incidents involving Todd Bodine, Mike Wallace, Richard Lassiter, Rich Burgess, Clifford Allison, Tommy Houston, and others. Jeff Burton led for 19 laps, but lost the lead and a lap when his right front wheel locked up during a pit stop. Restarts were a wild scene, with drivers spanning 5 and 6 abreast heading toward turn 1, and while most managed to get through, NASCAR was not happy with some of the passing practices. When Earnhardt went under Bessie in turn 3 trying to rope in the leaders, Robert Presley decided to follow. Presley and Bessie made contact. The 7 car spun, and Presley was parked. By NASCAR, a 1-lap penalty for overly aggressive driving. The closing laps featured a charge, a challenge, and a chance for the fans to witness a first-time winner. The charge came from Ward Burton in the Gwaltney Big 8's Buick, racing past Earnhardt and Allison to take the lead with 22 laps left. The challenge came from Martin, who roared into second in the closing laps and may have had the power to catch Burton, but did not have the time. Ward won by less than a second, capturing his first ever Busch Grand National victory.
Well, I tell you what, I'm one lucky guy in the world to have a kind of sponsored team, the car that I've got, and without them, I wouldn't be here.
Today's mailbox is brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft.
A changeup off the plate, hoping the batter would go chasing.
Ned, here at Orange County, Jeff Green won the pole, his first ever Busch Grand National pole. Congratulations. What was the key to it, Jeff?
Well, he just put in a good run, I tell you. The car worked perfect. We practiced all day long on 100-lap tires and really didn't know how fast we could go. We went out and scuffed these tires, put a lap on them, so we really didn't know how fast we'd go. Man, when I went over and looked at that board, I was tickled, tickled. With all the guys that worked on the car, they did a super job. Wayne has put me in a good car here tonight, and if we can just stay out of all these wrecks and stay out of trouble and stay on the lead lap, I think we got a shot to win this race.
Staying out of the wrecks would be a key to victory in this 300-lap race. The 30 starters took the green, and Ward Burton dropped the hammer on his Hardee's Buick, flew by the front row, and roared to the lead. The tone for trouble was set early. Following a spin, Troy Beebe hit the wall in turn 2, then pulled back down the track into traffic and chopped Ricky Craven. Under the green, Burton, racing his Hardee's car on Hoosier tires, had the field overmatched. He was chased by Chuck Bound, Jeff Green, Rodney Combs, and Tommy Houston. This multi-car wreck in turn 2 ended the night early for Robert Presley and sent Todd Bodine to the pits for extensive repairs. It was also a rough night for some of the rookies, including Roy Payne, who provided some fireworks after rubbing the wall and finished 25th. Just past lap 100, Shauna Robinson and Jeff Burton crashed, exiting turn 3. Then Jim Bound came flying by and smacked the 35 car. During the caution cleanup, Ward Burton's ignition box soured, providing a sound and light show that forced Burton into an early stop to repair the problem and take his limit of 4 tires. Steve Grissom also visited pit road to take 4 fresh tires for a charge to the front. Tommy Houston inherited the lead on lap 116 and stayed in front for 51 laps, chased by a pack of contenders competing on Hoosiers, including rookie Joe Bessie, enjoying his best run of the season, racing to a 4th-place finish. Burton continued his campaign through the field, finally roping in Houston, taking the lead, and was not seriously challenged the rest of the way. But Larry Pearson tried. He unlapped himself after early problems and came blistering through the pack, as did Grissom. This spin, with 70 laps to go, gave Grissom a chance to grab 4 fresh tires, but left him the task of battling back from 1 lap down. While Ward was winning, Pearson and Grissom were racing, picking off positions in pursuit of the leader. Grissom got some help in the points race when Chuck Bound moved David Green out of the way. But no one could catch Burton, coasting to his first win in 35 races. Pearson was second and Grissom third, taking over the point lead.
This hardest team has been coming on all year. We've had a lot of little things to plague us, even from Daytona to Hickory. You know, Bristol, a lot of races we were capable of winning, and I can't say enough about Hardee's. They're the ones that put us here, and I just got a great group of guys, and they're the ones doing all that work to put me running good.
Ball 4. Here comes the first pitch of the at-bat. Pitch taken for a ball.
Okay, this dude just knows how to steal a bag. He studies film, he studies pitchers, and he can be trying to apply all that right now. Sometimes you try to make the hitter chase your pitch. That's exactly what you saw right there.
3-1, a hitter's pitch. That's the pitcher's 4th walk of the game.
Hey, that was a great at-bat, partner. He wouldn't budge and just worked the pitcher for a walk.
The next batter is Jason Worth.
The defense would be wise right here to move into double play depth.
It's hit out. He dives and makes a fantastic catch. Score that one a fielder's choice.
That's a good defensive play right there. They got the run on second easy.
When this guy steps in against left-handed pitching, he expects results. And another strike. It's 0-2.
The outfielders need to come up gunning on a fly ball. Three pitches, 3 strikes. Doesn't get easier than that, partner.
Up next, Lance Berkman. This guy's a switch hitter, but he definitely prefers to bat right-handed. Down he goes on strikes. Going into the bottom of the 4th, no score here. Stepping in, Aubrey Huff. The pitch is hit to center field. Damon makes the routine catch. pitch just off the plate, 1-0. Just off the plate, 2-0. That one's hit high and deep and gone. A home run.
There was no doubt about that. You can see that thing was out of here the second it hit the bat.
One out, nobody out. The 0-1.
Jeff Gordon is competing in his first full season on the Busch Grand National Circuit, and already he's collected some impressive statistics. Through the first 17 races, he has 7 top 10 finishes, 4 top 5s, not to mention 3 second-place finishes and a pole position. It's through this valuable track time that the rookie has learned some veteran techniques.
I've learned so much. I've learned, you know, to be aggressive but have patience at the same time, which is pretty hard to do. And, you know, I've learned so much just being able to save the car, and if the car's not handling right, you know, just run the race and just let the car or let the track come back to you, or wait for a pit stop or something like that. And, you know, I've just learned so much, and actually I've learned to really get the car working a lot better. And, you know, and that really means a lot, because you can go out into a race and just, you know, be totally loose or pushing, and, you know, and you're going to be in trouble. But if you know how much you want that car to push, or how loose you want it to be at the beginning of the race so it's good at the end, that's really important.
Last year, Jeff took a car to Rockingham. It was only his second ever try at a Busch Grand National race. Not only did he make the field, but there were several shocked individuals as the young driver sat on the outside of row 1.
I did not want to start there. Yeah, we had a great qualifying run, and I wanted to be second quick, but I did not want to start the race, you know, on the outside front row. It was a lot of pressure for me, and I just wasn't ready for you know, these cars as far as the racing standpoint goes. Really didn't know what I really wanted to get the car where it was working well in the race, and you know, we just got loose right off the bat and ended up in the wall.
Hitting the wall at Rockingham was part of a learning curve for Jeff Gordon, and at 19 years old, the young driver continually learns from the Busch Series.
You learn a lot running just with the Busch. I mean, the Busch regulars are unreal drivers. I mean, all the guys, they were the best at wherever they've come from. They've been the best, and it just makes it really tough. I mean, and that's why it's so hard to win on this series, because everybody's a winner. Everybody, you know, knows what it's like to win, and everybody is shooting for that one position.
14 years of racing. You've got over 600 victories, and with 4 seasons of the USAC, 83 starts, 19 poles, 60 top 10, and 49 top 5. What makes you so good?
Just been around very good people. You know, I've never let myself get into bad equipment or get with a bad team. You know, everywhere I've went, I've just and that's I owe, you know, a lot to my family. They've made sure that I was always in good equipment when they owned the cars. And then when I moved on to drive for other people, made sure that I was in first-class equipment. And, you know, you can't beat being in first-class equipment. And that's what's making me run good here. You know, it's just being with really good teams and good people.
Good teams and good people don't hurt, but it's the driver that pushes the machine to the limit. And to the limit seems to be what Jeff Gordon is all about, with his sights set on some serious achievements.
My short-term goals, you know, are to win the Rookie of the Year, and also try to finish as high up in the points. Top 10 would be really nice. I think a top 10 in finishing the points would be a realistic goal for me my first year. We're leading the rookie standings, but it's not over yet. But you know, right now, you know, my goals are being set right now, and I just hope it lasts throughout the year. And my long-term goals, you know, are to get the Winston Cup. You know, I mean, I wouldn't be running the Busch Series if I didn't want to make it the Winston Cup, and I don't think any of the other guys would either.
All right, the season now is about half over right now, and you've driven on most of the tracks that there are to drive on. If you had to predict where your first victory is going to come, what track do you think we'll be at?
Well, you know, we're coming up to a track that I have a lot of laps at, that I have a lot of experience at, and I hope it comes at, I would call it my home track, Indianapolis Raceway Park. And you know, I think we got a good chance to win there. And we got, you know, the cars are working better and better every weekend. I'm also looking forward to going back to the tracks that we've already ran, you know, say Rockingham, Darlington, Richmond. I mean, there's a lot of tracks, you know, that we didn't do as well the first time because it was early in the season. And I've learned a lot, the team's learned a lot, and we've got a lot to come back with.
Rusty, it wouldn't be too surprising to see Jeff Gordon racing against you in Winston Cup pretty soon, maybe.
Well, there's no doubt about it, Ned. Jeff's going to be in Winston Cup racing.
The shortstop. Good start to the inning. Leadoff single.
Well, now that they've got somebody on, let's see if they can go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Inside Winston Cup Racing. Today, we're in Charlotte, North Carolina at Cale Yarborough Motorsports. This is where they build and maintain the Fords that Derek Cope drives in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. This team has a brand new sponsor, brand new colors for 1994. Fingerhut Catalogs will be their sponsor for the next 3 years. Well, we'll cover that and much more in this half hour of Inside Winston Cup Racing.
The season finale in Atlanta saw the crowning of a new champion, a much-needed win, and a lot of bent sheet metal in the garage area. We'll recap the events that shaped NASCAR's final Winston Cup weekend.
And you'll meet Busch Series driver Joe Bessie. This Rookie of the Year contender has not only become competitive on the racetrack, but is driven in the world of business as well. We'll profile Joe behind the desk and behind the wheel. In 1994, drivers, sponsors, crew chiefs, and manufacturers will all shake up the sport of Winston Cup racing. You'll get a preview of some of the moves being made for next year.
Inside Winston Cup Racing is brought to you by Gold Filter Miller Genuine Draft and Miller Genuine Draft Light, taking the country by storm. Goodyear, #1 in tires. And by Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car.
The Hooters 500 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway last weekend wrapped up the 1993 NASCAR Winston Cup season. Of course, the championship was decided there in Dale Earnhardt's favor, and there was some controversy as far as the track conditions were concerned because there were a lot of wrecks, and there was some shuffling as far as point standings were concerned among the top 10. Let's take a look back at some of the things that went on at Atlanta.
This segment of Inside Winston Cup Racing is brought to you by Texaco Haviland Formula 3. Add more life to your car.
Prior to the final Busch Grand National and Winston Cup races of 1992, several teams went to Atlanta to test, including championship contenders Rusty Wallace and Dale Earnhardt. What they learned for the finale in Atlanta was that the track was treacherously slick. When the teams officially hit the track race weekend, it was confirmed that a sealer that was used to fill cracks in the racing surface, combined with aerodynamic rule changes to the cars, would make for a challenging weekend. There was wreck after wreck after wreck in both practice and qualifying in the Busch Grand National and Winston Cup divisions. Included in that was championship contender Dale Earnhardt. The excitement continued in the Slick 5300 Busch Grand National race, with Ward Burton bagging his 3rd win of the year in his last race as a Busch Grand National regular.
My hardest team, when we've been down, they've never given up, and that's what makes the thing work. You know, the team works as a unit when we're doing good and we're doing bad. And that's the first team I've had like that.
On Sunday, all eyes were on Rusty and Dale with the title on the line. But there were other less notable stories that pertain to the Winston Cup points race. Kyle Petty clipped the wings of T-Bird driver Morgan Shepherd in his final race to finish 5th in the point standing. Morgan moved to 7th behind Ernie Irvin. Ricky Rudd hung on to 10th behind Bill Elliott and Kenny Schrader. The final money spot in the points went to Ted Musgrave, who finished 25th. Rusty Wallace did everything he could do to capture his second Winston Cup title, winning his 31st race of his career. But Dale Earnhardt was the big winner, gathering his 6th Winston Cup title worth $1.2 million.
This team has just been so tremendous all year. I know we didn't win the races that Rusty won, but still they was consistent and worked hard. We had some adversity with things happen to us, and also the loss of our champion, Alan Quick, and the great friend, Davey Allison. So, you know, it was some sad notes and some tough times this year, but we came through it and worked hard, and this team was just super.
You were celebrating with Andy Peachtree a moment ago. His addition to your team, obviously a big factor.
Well, a part of his interview was he wanted to be a champion, and he felt like this race team could take him there, and he helped us get there, and it's been great for us.
You know, it's just that when two teams that good end up with one champion. But, you know, we had a little different strategy, and it worked for us. And, you know, that's what winning the Winston Cup Championship's all about.
Dale Earnhardt, Richard Childress, and the Goodwrench team will start defense of their title with the running of the Daytona 500 next February. They'll try to see if they can catch Richard Petty, who has 7 NASCAR Winston Cup titles. You know, race fans spend a lot of time on the road, traveling back and forth to their favorite tracks and events, and the last thing they need to have is car trouble on the road to run an exciting weekend. Well, now NASCAR has stepped in to help with the NASCAR Advantage Road Service Plan. This annual membership plan includes emergency road service such as towing, jump starts, tire changes, fluids, and minor repairs, lockout service, spouse coverage at no extra charge, a 24-hour toll-free customer service number, theft and hit-and-run rewards, customized trip routing, hotel and rental car discounts, and much, much more for only $54.95 per year. RV programs also available. Who better to bring you a complete national road service plan than NASCAR, the road service experts? It's time for us to take a short break. When we come back, we'll talk with Joe Bessie, driver in the NASCAR Busch Series. As we leave you for this break, here's how you can get more information on the NASCAR Advantage.
To order the NASCAR Advantage Road Service Plan, call 1-800-633-4600 or write to NASCAR Advantage Road Service Plan. Post Office Box 5100, Thousand Oaks, California, 91359.
Joe Bessie had a very successful career in the NASCAR Busch North Series. In 1993, he decided he would come south and run in the NASCAR Busch Grand National Series, and he was one of the top contenders in the Penrose Rookie of the Year Challenge. He had some awfully good runs, especially towards the end of the year. Joe runs his own team, and he also runs his own business. Recently, Bill Weber made a trip to Maine to talk with Joe Bessie.
Joe Bessie is all business, no matter what day of the week it is. He owns his Busch Series team, and it's fitting that he drives the rig as well as the car, because back home in Scarborough, Maine, Bessie's business is trucking. Each week he flies home to check on the company he founded 11 years ago at the age of 21. Now, with 25 trucks running the Northeast Corridor, he's trying to balance his company and his blossoming career.
Here comes the bottom of the order, leading off the inning.
Transport. Hi. Empty in Philadelphia.
Jackson takes, and it's ball one.
Mail?
The mail's on your stack.
What time is it? Time for me to get a watch.
He needs to start throwing more
Joe's
strikes
racing
if he wants to
career
be
was
around
born
more
at
than
Beach Ridge
5
Motor Speedway in Scarborough as a junior in high school. That was 1977. Now, 16 years later, he's just wrapped up his rookie season in the Busch Series.
Hitters count 3-1.
It went about the same as my first full-time season here on this dirt at Beach Ridge Motor Speedway. It's like anything new.
That's
This
the
is
pitcher's
tough.
6th walk of the game.
I don't know. It feels
it's too bad he watched this guy.
you just got to roll with the punches. We've been knocked out 2 or 3 times and just get back up and go at it for some more.
At home in Maine, Joe's Busch Grand National North experience was a license for winning. 1992 brought 3 victories and 11 top 10 finishes. But down south, 93 was a different story.
We missed the championship by 6 points last year, and I felt like we could have won it. Could have won either way. It's been tough down there. The schedule's so hectic. you don't have a lot of time to make friends. You don't have a lot of time to spend with the other competitors that show up to the track, and everybody's so focused with the major sponsors being involved. It's a pressurized situation. You got to pay attention to what you're doing. You're there to race, not to socialize. It's just been tough making friends.
He's headed to third.
Really?
Joe Bessie is easy to like, but hard to get to know. Behind the desk and behind the wheel, he is friendly but focused, an approach that has slowed his acceptance in racing's social circles.
Yeah, I haven't. I still haven't practiced it. The better we get, seems the more they start to accept.
So his guy in the bullpen can finish.
I've made it a point to race everybody as clean as possible this year. The last thing I want to do is become earmarked as a driver that you don't want to race with. Stay clear of him. He's not in control of the car. It's no secret. We've been lapped many times this year by the best of them. And, I do my best to get out of the way and let the races go on.
This Maine native anticipated a frosty reception from the close-knit racing fraternity in the South, a relationship he hopes will warm up over time. However, after finishing second in points in the Busch North Series last year, what he hadn't fully anticipated is the wild roller coaster ride he's had to endure during 1993.
Roller coaster, peaks and valleys, to say the least.
They're making a pitching change.
If you're ready to come back and do it again.
Yeah, that would kill me. To not be able to come back in '94 and capitalize on the dues I've paid this year would break my heart. But I don't know for sure that nothing is in concrete that we will be back in '94. But I gotta believe. I have a gut feeling that something's going to come about for Joe Bessie, and I'm going to be able to capitalize on the dues I've paid this year.
Bessie is emotionally motivated by his fond memories of the late Alan Kowicki. His car number is a tribute to Kowicki, who ran the number 97 in the ASA series. Bessie has modeled himself after the former champion, a man he never met.
He just got that streak of independence in him that I've got.
It's a ground ball
so
the other way.
Close to him as far as being the garage
the Red Sox in the
many times last year and many times early this year, and never made the efforts to go meet him, and only because I knew he was so focused on what he was doing. Watching him take that championship and actually brought tears to my eyes right there in the motel, and I felt like a fool, but it was just the way it just did it. It was a small, it wasn't even small, it was a miracle.
With the race season now complete, it's back to business for Joe Bessie. He won't be working weekends on the road this winter, but come February, he'll be racking up the miles on and off the track.
I'm really looking forward to that, and hopefully I don't let myself down.
If you saw the Slick 5300 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway last weekend, you know that Joe Bessie had one of the fastest, if not the fastest car on the racetrack. It's too bad that he wrecked with about 25 laps to go while challenging for the lead. We need to take a short break. When we come back, we'll preview the 1994 NASCAR Winston Cup season, so you stay with us.
Yeah, going to run 6 races. Country Time's going to help us with James Finch's Phoenix Racing deal. So try to get those 6 ready going down to Daytona in February. I've been going down there the last few years to do some of this, and I want to see about driving again.
He was still coming around on that swing when he made contact with Falcon away.
They check down at first. He's hitting back to the dugout. Strike 3.
As long as I have been around NASCAR Winston Cup racing, I don't think I have ever seen as many changes as we'll see for 1994. Sponsors, drivers, crew chiefs, you name it, and it's changing. And it might even change before you see this on the air. Let's take a look at some of the things that we know about now.
As the Winston Cup Tour takes off for Daytona in 1994, there will be few teams left untouched by the change of season. Each year, drivers, crew chiefs, and corporate sponsors search for that certain situation that hopefully will help them ultimately celebrate a championship season. A look at who's who and what's what for 94, starting with the #1 car. Rick Mast will continue as is. No changes. He'll continue to hunt for win #1 next year. On the other hand, it's hard to believe Rusty Wallace, after winning 10 races in 1993, will switch from Pontiac to Ford in 1994. How about the Winston Cup champ? Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Morgan McClure has yet to announce a permanent driver to replace the departed Ernie Irvin for next year. As of right now, the focus is on Sterling Marlin, who will lead the Stavola brothers. The Tide Ride will have the same driver in 1994, but a new owner. Both are Ricky Rudd. Rudd, starting his own team, will field Fords and the number 10.
Well, really looking forward to it. You know, we're enjoying all the time we've got because we're making good use of it, trying to get organized and get the cars up and built. And we've already had 2 test sessions, and the cars run extremely well in both test sessions. So going into the winter, having those behind us feels awful good.
A threat to win the championship every year since 1989, Mark Martin will be without longtime crew chief and confidant Steve Neal next year. Jeff Bodine is searching for a sponsor for his newly acquired race team. Chances are he'll have one before he hits Daytona.
We've had one all year. You know, Family Channel's been with us, and that's really great, but they're not coming back with us next year. So we're still looking. Hopefully a couple weeks we'll be able to make a big announcement.
The inside track says Busch Grand National driver Jeff Burton will replace Sterling Marlin in the Stavola Brothers Ford, but what will replace Rebestis as a sponsor because they're out. Expect P.J. Jones to take another stab in the Harry Melling Ford number 9 next year. Everything should be the same with Elliott next season as well, except the win column, he hopes. Spencer and Sponsor are both leading Bobby Allison in 1994. Spencer goes with Junior Johnson and McDonald's. Terry Labonte goes with the Hendrick team along with Kellogg's next season. His number is now number 5. Bud Moore and Lake Speed will sport new colors in 1994 with Ford Quality Care on the car. The Family Channel has rising star Ted Musgrave in their lineup next season. Car owner Jack Roush unveiled the machine to rave reviews in Atlanta. Many teams won't be making any moves next season like the Joe Gibbs team. Buddy Baker could be back with a limited schedule for Dick Moroso. No changes for Morgan Shepherd and the 21 car. Bobby Labonte and Bill Davis will switch to Pontiac next season. They may trade their Fords for rusty Pontiacs. The cars of Jeff Gordon, Kenny Schrader, Brett Bodine, Ernie Irvin, and Michael Waltrip will all remain relatively the same. How about Neil Bonnet, though? He'll be back in a limited schedule with Country Time.
Yeah, you know, going to run 6 races. Country Time's going to help us with James Bench's Phoenix Racing deal. So try to get those 6 ready going down to Daytona in February. I've been going down there the last few years to do some of this, and I want to see about driving again.
Harry Gant and the 33 team will stay the same for 1994, but Kenny Wallace is out of the 40 car owned by Felix Tabata. A new driver is expected to be named soon. The number 41 team will have another driver behind the wheel next year. Could it be 1992 DGM champ Joe Nemechek? The only other major changes, the 44 car could become the 43 car for new driver Wally Dellenbeck. And Jimmy Hensley finally gets a full-time ride with the number 55 team. And Derek Pope re-upped with Cale Yarborough and his team for next season. They also secured the biggest sponsor they've had since Yarborough retired from driving just a few short years ago.
And you folks think we announcers get to take the winter off? No, we got to do a lot of studying just to get ourselves acclimated to who's going to be doing what in 1994 so we can talk intelligently about it. Well, there'll be more changes coming up, and certainly by the time we go to New York for the awards banquet, there will be more, and we'll keep you posted. But right now, we need to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have the mailbox, so don't go away.
The winds of change will not only blow through the Winston Cup garage next season, they'll affect teams in the Busch Series as well. We'll talk to some of the drivers who'll be swapping seats in the Busch Series next season.
We'll also talk to Jimmy Spencer. For Spencer, 1993 was not only competitive, but controversial. Next year, he'll pilot Junior Johnson's McDonald's Ford. We'll hear from Jimmy next week.
Next season, we'll see the return of driver Elton Sawyer. He's got a new car racing for a new team with a new sponsor. We'll be back in the Busch Series in 1994.
Today's mailbox is brought to you by Miller's Genuine Draft.
Our question today is from Don Mockridge from Houston, Texas, who writes, why do Winston Cup cars use water in their radiators instead of a coolant? Well, Don, for the answer, we'll go to Doug Richard, who is the crew chief on the Hedrick Motorsports Chevrolet number 41.
That's a good question, Don. The reason I don't use it in our car here is a lot of the safety reasons, not only for ourselves, but the other competitors on the racetrack. Antifreezes and coolants like that carry some substances that are very slippery if they were ever extracted onto the racetrack. That could be very dangerous if it ever got under the wheels and tires of us or any other cars. Thanks for writing in, Don.
If you have any race questions, write to us at Inside Winston Cup Racing, Box 240-417, Charlotte 28224. If we use your question on the air, you'll receive this embroidered Miller Genuine Draft jacket.
So our time's up for today. Hope you enjoyed the show, and our thanks to Cale Yarborough and all the folks here at the Fingerhut team for allowing us to come into their shop. We'll see you again here on TNN for more on Inside Winston Cup Racing. You be sure to join us.
Inside Winston Cup Racing has been brought to you by Cold Filter Miller Genuine Draft and Miller Genuine Draft Light, taking the country by storm. Goodyear, #1 in tires. And by Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car. Ground transportation for the Inside Winston Cup Racing crew provided by Mark III Luxury Vans and Trucks, the official vans and trucks of NASCAR. Footwear provided by Simpson Race Products, makers of the Ground Effects line of motorsports footwear. For order information and a new 1994 catalog, call weekdays 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 800-654-RACE. Communications for Inside Winston Cup Racing are provided by Racing Radio, the official communications of NASCAR and the Winston Cup Series. Call for information.
God, this guy right here's got some kind of big league pop. You gotta be careful when you pitch it.
There's a strike with the changeup. They appeal the first on the check swing.
And it was really
that'll do it for the Devil Rays.
I think this opportunity with First Union Bank and Felix is going to put me in victory lane for the first time.
The score is 4-1.
Jimmy Fenning left the 12 car earlier this week. This weekend, he's been spending a lot of time around the 6 car. He will take over as crew chief of the Valvoline Ford next week in Phoenix. Steve Meal will become general manager of Jack Roush's Liberty, North Carolina operation for the rest of this season. But if it extends to next year, it's anyone's guess.
Steve Meal is still the crew chief for the 6 car tomorrow, but we'll have a press release at Phoenix. Jimmy is going to join us, and I've got every reason to believe by the time we get to Phoenix, Jimmy will be the crew chief. Steve will be very much involved with the program. He's going to help be in a position to help Ted and his program a little more and to help lead all 3 of my teams in the R&D area and help us get the absolute most out of our body from an aero point of view and out of the chassis from a stiffness and a chassis function point of view. But Steve will be...
Swing and a miss, struck him out.
Hey, sometimes you make a good pitch, and that was one of them. Big strikeout there, partner.
Jackson digs in at the plate.
Okay, the pitcher makes a mistake here, but the batter cannot cash in.
Breaking ball is inside.
Looked like the pitcher and catcher have a strategy in mind, but so far the batters are taking these pitches.
There's a line drive. He's on with a 1-out single. The next batter is Lance Berkman.
They need to get a run right here. To do so, they might want to give up an out.
Taken for a ball. The bat went through the zone.
And I don't think he went on that one. I think the batter got a raw deal there.
2-ball, 2-strike count. Payoff pitch coming. And here's the pitch. He strikes out swinging.
Hey, partner, to steal a term from hockey, that strikeout was the old hat trick for that guy. This could be the turning point in the game, partner. You got a big-time RBI guy at the plate with ducks on the pond.
He barely made contact there. The count's 1-2. Damon lays off ball 2.
Sometimes you try to make the hitter chase your pitch. That's exactly what you saw right there.
He smoked it. He's on with a base hit.
Hey, Kai, good work there to get the runner in the scoring position.
He checks his swing. Pop up. The ball game is over. Lowry picks up the win. Clement is the loser. Danny Baez closes it out for the save. The final score, Tampa Bay 4, Boston 1.